Going live. Yeah, welcome everyone. Feel free to say hello in the chat where you're tuning in from. We're getting the Instagram live going as well. Hello everyone. I'm so excited to dive into this topic today because it's something that we've been talking a lot about in my community, in my mastermind, in my classes. We've got a lot of people asking, like, what is the real deal with social verification? So we're going to talk about that today. See some people joining us over here on Instagram as well. Devin, Charles, hey, good to see you all. And we've got, let's see, Maya Lisa from Idaho, Trish from New Jersey, Tamarin from Northern Ontario. We got Canada. We always have such global calls. So that's one thing I really love about doing these lives. We really get to connect real time from around the world. Wonderful. We have more people continuing to join. Okay, I see Catherine, Ugo joining. Fantastic. All right. So I know this is a really hot topic. So I was this morning, like you can see my note, like literally I just dumped out my brain on some paper this morning. I was like, if I only had 20 minutes to give them the most important things they need to know about this topic, like what would that be? Now, as someone who's been in the PR marketing world for 25 years, scary enough, but true, there's a lot going on out there that I would say is confusing to people. And there's a lot of misinformation happening. So I'm going to address a couple of those things today. So first and foremost, I just would like to get an idea of who's here today. Who here is there anyone here who's already verified? Go ahead and raise your hand, put a 1 or a yes in the chat, or give me a thumbs up, maybe over here on Instagram. So let's see, like, is anyone here actually already verified? Okay, not seeing a lot of yeses come through here, a lot of no's coming. Okay, so, all right, then who is here that has considered that they would like to be verified or they want that to happen at some point? And go ahead, give me a yes or a thumbs up if that's something you actually have wanted, or maybe you've even already applied for it but didn't get it. Yeah, I see some yeses coming through here. Okay, so Taryn wants to know what it is. Yeah, that's a good place to start. What actually is the verification? So let's start there. When you think about, your time traveling on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you often see a little blue check next to people's faces. So when they have that blue check, it means they are legit, they are official, they have been approved by that platform to be who they really say they are, right? There are a lot of fake profiles out there. So when you see that blue check, that's instant credibility, instant authority of like, okay, there's going to be a foundation of trust already there because someone has vetted this person and this profile. So when you think about where you see the blue checks, it tends to be on public figures, celebrities, VIPs, high profile people. And so it is something that is a little mysterious. They've actually made the process for getting it somewhat difficult, exclusive, elusive. There is a mystery to it for most people that know about this process. It's like, wait, I thought I would be able to be verified. They're still not verifying me. I keep trying. It's not getting approved. And then you see someone else that gets verified and you're like, wait, like I probably should be verified over that person, right? So it's like, what's going on here? So that's what I want to address today is kind of like, what's the real deal about verification and how do you actually get it? What are some of the inside things, to know and be thinking about? So, why is it important? We just touched on that a little bit. Go ahead in the chat. Tell me why you think it's important. I want to hear what you think would make your life better if you had that verification or that blue check. We did talk about trust, right? Instant credibility. What happens when you have that, right? You could have, growth, faster growth on your platforms, a bigger audience. People actually do want to connect with you or follow you and engage with you. That means, if you're out there with services or products, that means you're probably going to have more potential revenue. Robin's asking, is this only for Facebook or Instagram? This is really Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, and also Twitter. Those are the main ones I'm talking about and addressing today. Maya Lisa says social proof. They say yes quicker. Yeah, absolutely. Antoine says credibility, 100%. Yeah, let's see, we still got some more people joining us here. Fantastic. Okay, so, right, if you can have faster growth, more revenue, right, that's why it's kind of become this coveted thing. So, what I want to say about that today is, one, yes, that's a great thing. Two, are we focusing on the wrong thing? I'm going to teach you today about what I want you to focus on. And when you focus on this, the byproduct and the bonus is that you very likely will potentially get verified. Unfortunately, as we said, it's a bit of a mysterious thing. They've made it elusive and exclusive so that it keeps us all coming back for more on their platforms, right? They've intentionally made it this kind of coveted, mysterious thing. So, would it be a good thing to have? Yes. Okay, so we've clarified that. We all know that. So, what's happening out there? What is the way? How are they picking who's getting verified, and how do you actually get it? So, the things they will tell you, and these are things you can find pretty easily and quickly, just through some simple searching, is their main criteria is that you in your profile have to be authentic, complete, unique, and notable. Now, we're going to do this really quickly today. I really respect and value your time, so I want to just get to the most important pieces I can give you today. So what we're going to focus on is this notable concept. What does that mean? So this means your account must represent a well-known, highly searched for individual, brand, or entity, right? This is reviewing accounts that are featured in multiple news sources, and they do not consider paid or promotional content as sources for review. So this is the most important thing we're going to talk about today. Now that's Meta for Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter pretty much says the same thing under their notable criteria. News coverage. Provide news articles that are about or reference yourself or your organization multiple times in the article. So these articles, this is really important, so take note. These articles must be from verified news organizations and cannot be a blog or self-published content. Okay, so now what happens when you're getting this news coverage? Well, oftentimes you're also getting a Wikipedia page, because that's what they actually need to create your Wikipedia page, is you need to be featured in the media from what they call reliable news sources. So you can think of it this way. If you can get yourself out there in the media on a regular basis, then you can get your Wikipedia page. Then there's, it's very logical that the next step is going to be that you're getting verified, right? So that's one way to look at it. What do you actually need for these sources? Okay, so we're going to touch a little bit on the earned media versus paid media. That's a really important piece to understand. How many people here have been approached on Instagram or somewhere else by a spammy kind of person saying, hey, we would love to feature you in our top 20 entrepreneurs of 2022. Would you like to be featured? And then you say, oh, yes, that would be great. Like you're thinking, oh my gosh, they picked me. And guess what? It's a switcheroo. You have to pay for it. And I always say to my clients, do not do pay to play. Now, the scary thing with that is a little scary from someone in my shoes of having had a PR agency for many years, is it's getting a lot harder out there. The media landscape is changing, especially since the past couple years. There are a lot more pay to play opportunities out there. So sometimes to get in front of the demographic we want to reach, we do have to do a little pay to play. But my go-to answer for anyone really is try not to do that. Get the free publicity, get the free earned media that you can get by pitching editorial, especially mainstream press. In this case, you're going to want to pitch mainstream press because that's what they consider the reliable news sources. The other thing I have seen happening is some of these companies out there saying, hey, we'll get you articles to get you verified. And then they tell you, oh, we'll get you in this newspaper and this magazine. And I look at them, and I've been doing this a long time. They are talking about media publications that are not real media publications, right? So there's some nefarious, maybe not so ethical things happening out there. So be very careful if you're approached by those kind of people offering, it seems like this magical solution. So the other thing to know is, so one, it's got to be earned media, which means you pitch it. It's a real media, a real editorial outlet, and they're going to feature you. You're not going to pay to do that. That's, like we say in the lingo is pay to play, which essentially is like some sort of form of advertising. So what you're going to do is start getting yourself out there in the press. And what does it take to get verified? If you're actually getting yourself once you're getting yourself in the press, what does it take? So they used to say 6 articles in 6 months. So now what they're saying is 9. 9 being featured 9 times in a reliable source, an earned media opportunity, not paid, and where you're mentioned more than once or featured in that media outlet. So it could be an article, obviously TV interviews, those kind of things, are very credible. So how much does it take to get 9 articles in 6 months? Well, that is a pretty big feat. As someone who's had a PR agency for many years, this is the kind of thing that our clients hire us to do. And now in the past 5 years, as I've moved into the space of helping my clients, small business owners, consultants, creatives, get themselves in the press, literally like learning how to be your own PR agency in about 2 hours a week to get these kinds of results. We've got to have the plan, you've got to have the strategy, you've got to have the steps, and just know how to pitch. That's a big piece of it, know who to pitch. And you might be asking like, okay, well, couldn't I just hire someone to do that for me? Yes, there are people like myself that, I have a PR agency where it's called done for you services, where we do that. There are a lot of PR agencies out there that can help with that. So just to give you an idea of what it might take to get those 9 articles is you are looking at, and this was actually like just even from talking to some colleagues and peers that are also starting initiatives with their agencies, because the social verification is such a hot thing, is it's about a minimum $35,000 to $60,000 investment, right? So that's not really attainable for most small business owners. You're looking at either a 10 to 15K a month retainer, or even a la carte, it's probably going to be around 35K plus if you're just going for one article at a time. And most agencies also do retainer. They don't do a la carte. So just to know, this is, I would say, the notable piece. Getting the media is going to be one of the most surefire ways of getting you out there and recognized through Wikipedia, getting verified, right? But are we focusing on the right thing even? I want to talk a little bit about the mindset behind it, because if you're obsessed with getting that blue check or getting your Wikipedia page, that's fine. No judgment here, but really focus on getting in the media, focus on getting the awareness, do that, put yourself out there in an aligned way, get in the right media outlets in front of the right eyeballs, new sets of eyeballs at the right time. And guess what? The side effect, eventually, it's, sometimes a little bit of a longer game, is going to be that you're going to get that Wikipedia page, you're going to get that social verification. So that's where, my mission and helping people, get their own media attention is what I'm out here in the world doing, and putting my stake in the ground for all of you to know, hey, you can actually do this yourself. You don't have to spend $50,000, $60,000 to get some articles. We actually can do it ourselves. And I know this because not only have I done it for my own clients, but I've done it for myself. And then I've taught my own clients how to do it for their own businesses, careers, talents. And let's see. What else do we want to talk about here? I've got lots of notes here. I see some things coming, notes coming. We've got Maya Lisa taking really great notes here in the Zoom chat. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Great to keep everyone on track in there. Okay, so let's just kind of see how everyone's tracking here. And, when you think about doing this yourself, like what comes up for you? Do you think it's possible? Do you think, oh man, like there's no way? Like what comes up for you when you think about actually getting your own articles instead of paying a PR agency beaucoup bucks to do it for you? Okay, scares me, overwhelming, lots of work. Yeah, those are very typical responses that people have when they come into my realm and I'm teaching them how to get their own visibility and PR. So one of the first things we always look at is the mindset, the alignment, right? Because once we really get that purpose and message clarity and tap you in and connect to that, that's the most important thing we can do, because that's going to outweigh any fear or overwhelm. Right. And I always say overwhelm is just a lack of prioritization. So we really want to get you clear first and foremost on what is the vision, and then give you the steps and the plan to actually do it. Antoine is saying knowing who to pitch, being consistent and intentional with efforts. Yeah, it does take aligned action, right? So there's the vision, right? Getting clear, the clarity. There's knowing the steps, having a strategy in place, and then having someone guide you through like how to actually do that and stay on track if you start to go sideways, whether it's mindset, some of those fears, insecurities, limiting beliefs, self-doubts come up. Imposter syndrome is a big one for the people that work with me, because it's that question of, well, who am I? Or there's someone else that is going to be better at this than I am, right? So a lot of that stuff comes up along the way. And hey, I've been doing this 25 years. I've only been putting myself in the spotlight the last 5 years as I developed my online business. Before, I was not in the spotlight at all. I was behind the scenes. So I get it. I'm naturally an introvert and I'm constantly overcoming my own stuff. And I always say I'm also the cobbler without shoes. Hey, I'm not verified, but have I helped my clients get verified? Yes. So I know how to do it. I know how this all works. And, it's always just about us stretching those comfort levels and zones and showing up and just putting one foot in front of the other and doing it. So when you have the community, when you have the mentor, the guidance to do it, it's totally possible. I've seen it happen for my own clients over and over again. Clarity, steps, execute. Who am I comes up. That's a big one, right? Who am I? Who am I to do this? So, what I can say to that is, you are the person who has a special gift that only you can put into the world in the way that you do it, with your special signature, unique talents and way. And the world is waiting for that. There are people right now searching for you that need your help, want your guidance. So what happens when you start getting in all these featured articles? You're reaching new audience, new sets of eyes, right? It's like opens up so many new doors. A lot of my clients will say, ooh, unexpected opportunities are coming in. And I laugh because I'm like, well, I expected them. Because I know that when you get visible, when you do this work, when you put yourself out there in that aligned way, everything else lines up. So some more things to know about the verification process. You can absolutely submit yourself. And, a lot of this stuff is not a great mystery with some simple Google searches. Like you can just, get the link to where to submit or how to submit through your platforms. You can do that through Meta and Twitter. And it's actually pretty easy, but you have to submit what they're requesting, right? So the easiest thing is going to be to get some articles, be current, show there's buzz. And, there's a lot of people buzzing about you and your products or services, your talents, and then get that verification. And is it a guarantee? Absolutely not. Could you pay a PR agency beaucoup bucks and have a little better chance of getting verified? Possibly, because sometimes those agencies are spending a lot of ad dollars with Meta and they can put a little extra bug in Meta's ear, but it's not a guarantee. right? That's the whole issue with all of this. There's no rhyme or reason. And they've made it that way on purpose so that we're all like little dancing monkeys out here going, how do we get verified? Right. But what I'm saying today is it's possible for you. You can get there, but that's not the important. The blue check isn't the most important thing. The most important thing is building up your online presence, being visible in the world, getting featured by third-party reliable sources that are saying great things about you in the world. And that's what's going to get you more authority, credibility, clients, gigs, whatever it is you're looking for in the world. And yes, another byproduct might be getting that Wikipedia page or getting that social verification. But let's take the focus off. I think let's just burst that balloon about everyone obsessing with the social verification. Let's be obsessed about shining our light into the world in a really aligned way that reaches the people that are seeking us, right? There's that famous quote, what you seek is seeking you. So just know that that's happening right now. So if you're looking for organic, free publicity methods, ways to reach your audience, new leads, new potential people to connect, collaborate with, whether it's sponsors, investors, whatever it may be, industry people, right? That's the focus. So a lot of you here, are in my Visibility 30 challenge. Like that's a great place to start. If you're not sure, like where do you even start with upping your visibility? I have a free challenge. It's 30 days of email support with one daily action item to improve the trajectory of your visibility in just 30 days. And you can sign up for that at visibility30.com. And I think Trish can pop that link in some of these chats here in the Zoom and Facebook. And again, that's visibility30.com. So that's a great place to get you going on how all of this stuff works. And let's see. I also have a gift I want to give to everyone who's here today. But first, I want to see if we have any other thoughts or questions around anything we've covered today with the social verification, how it works, whether it's the strategy, the steps, the mindset, whatever it might be. And I think, Trish, it's actually visibility. Oh, is that the right link? Okay. Visibility30.com also works, but I think you're right. I think that one, the one you just popped in there works. But they can just go to visibility30.com. There we go. Yeah. Maya Lisa wants to know more about the mindset. Yeah, this is, basically my background is in personal growth development, many years as a healing arts practitioner, spiritual teacher. So I can go really geek out on the mindset alignment piece. So tell me, Maya, tell me more about what's calling to you to talk about in the mindset piece.
I think it's just sometimes, well, first now being aware, and then oh my gosh, okay, I know what to do. I just don't know how to do it. And taking that first step and being consistent and systematic, things that will help keep that going. Because I think once the momentum goes, then, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought, I can do this. But it's just that starting.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think doing your due diligence, just some basic Googling and searching of okay, what are the things that I need to have to be verified? That's not brain surgery. I'm not going to tell anyone anything here that you can just go look up quickly online. But I think what you mean more is okay, now that I know I might want to take this notable route because it seems like a much more surefire way than just leaving it up to the mystery of the meta gods. This is one thing they will approve you for because it's very tangible, right? So is the question more about how do you actually get the press? How do you
get the press? And then when you get it, how do you overcome the fear that you got it?
When you say overcome the fear that you got it, what do you mean?
I said this oh no, now I'm going to be seen, right? And the fear of the what comes next with that being seen.
Okay, so I think, it's a little bit reverse engineering, right? First, we need to make sure that you're in alignment and feeling good and lit up about being seen. So this is where it comes down to really the inner work that I do with most people and where we start. Because if we don't start here and clear any of those things that might be holding you back, you are then moving forward and creating this visibility from an energy that is not in alignment with having visibility. So first and foremost, we always want to look at, what are the things coming up specifically for you that might be stopping you from getting more visible? And then clearing that. My background is in the healing arts. So, one of my genius zones is being able to help people laser in, see where they're stuck and where it might be holding them back. So I can just ask you and, put you in the hot seat here for a quick second. And you only need to answer as much as you feel comfortable answering. But the being seen part, that, and thank you for being brave and speaking up and asking the question, because probably every other person here watching is feeling and thinking the same thing. What is it around being seen? Okay, great. I've got the press. I'm getting out there, but I'm being seen, and there's something that's creating a little fear or stickiness for you. So can you?
Yeah. So physically being seen, it's the weight. And then reading an article or something like that is like, there's always going to be somebody who does quicker, faster, whatever than you. And you're coming in at a level where you're very competent, but then you think, okay, what if somebody does it better? Somebody does it faster, somebody does it quicker. I guess that's part of it there.
That's a big one.
And an example I'll give is because I went to the castle and it was a fabulous experience. And I have all these pictures and videos and things. But I posted my very first one yesterday in a story. Everything else somebody else posted about me. So it's getting started in doing that. But like when you have I think it's also for me, it's the judgment because there's family, there's friends, there's extended family, there's extended friends, then there's clients, and then there's other people out there, and they all think something differently.
Yeah. And what I hear everything you're saying, and I think probably, put a 1 in the chat, raise your hand, thumbs up if you feel and hear what Maya Lisa is saying, because so many people can relate to this. It's at the end of the day, that's the compare and despair game. Mm-hmm. And as an entrepreneur, I know you know this, but sometimes we need to talk to our other peers and mentors to give us that reflection back. That's a no-win situation. The compare and despair game is never going to get you to where you want to go. So I say it's a choice of saying, I don't care. Put on those blinders. I don't care what anyone else is doing or saying, or if they're in a similar field or niche, or maybe we're teaching the exact same thing, but no one is going to do it the way you're doing it, right? There are going to be people that resonate with you that don't resonate with that other person, and vice versa. And just that unbridled faith in ourselves and the compassion and empathy we have for our own selves. And maybe we don't love how we look on camera, or we have those extra pandemic pounds. Yeah, 100%. I relate, but it's overcoming that fear every time, or those thoughts or those limiting beliefs, and moving through it. And it's the choice, right? So again, it comes back to the vision. You have a huge mission on this planet. You are here helping really incredible people get their messages out into the world. So when you think about your purpose, your legacy of what you're doing for others and how you're being of service on the planet right now, let's just feel into that for a minute. Like, where do you feel that in your body?
I feel it both in my heart and in my stomach. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's everyone here, just a quick exercise. You can put your hands on your heart, or one on your heart, one on your tummy. Like for a lot of this, right? That's your heart center, your emotional center is the gut. So it's like, this is where we hold a lot of things. And we really want to anchor that feeling that you have of your purpose and your vision, your legacy, into your body. You got to feel it, right? We get so caught up, especially a lot of us entrepreneurs, we're thinking all the time, thinking this is about figuring it out. So much of it is about feeling it and feeling into that vision. The more you get seen in the world, the more you can fulfill your life purpose, your legacy, help those people you came here on this time on this planet to help and serve. And just really feeling in to the beauty of that. And So anytime you have those thoughts coming up of, oh, but so and so does it better, or they can do it, this way or that way, and we've got to come back, just feel that anchor of love in your heart for your purpose, your passion, your vision. Take a breath, right? And then do the thing, take the action. So it's literally like getting so good at your mindfulness and awareness of where your thoughts are going, dropping back into your body, and then taking that inspired divine action to move forward. And this is a big, question for a lot of people is, the inner work part, right? It's fear of rejection. There's compare and despair. There's a lot of us do the perfectionism. I'm a recovering perfectionist, and, wanting to do it right and then not doing anything at all. Right. So there's all these things that stop us. And truly it's us stopping ourselves. So just tapping in, becoming aware, getting grounded, feeling into our body, connecting to our vision for what we love, what we know is possible. And through that, that's where the shift happens. That's where the transformation happens. And so that's why I will say it's very interesting, because a lot of the women that come into my Shine Online program, for example, they come in because they want the press and the PR, right? Like, this is what we're talking about today. But in the end, it ends up becoming a transformational journey, because you can't really do the strategy without doing the inner work, right? You've got to first tap in, get connected, and feel lit up about being seen in a way that feels good. I think for a lot of people, they're being told to get seen in certain ways. There's a lot of shoulds. You must post this many times a week and, do all these things. And we get so caught up in those, what other people are telling us to do. And
it really does affect, because years ago it was me posting as a mom, a stay-at-home mom, right? And now it's this shift into this entrepreneur who's doing these things and been doing it for a few years now. And sometimes it's like, I just want to say something about my kids, and now I want to go back to this and but I got to keep it all business. Or it's hard to really be excited about the things you're excited and have people be excited about it too. You go, oh, that's off topic. And
yeah, and that's really what we're learning when you're learning to pitch the press. Mm-hmm. Is such a translatable skill, because what it is you're learning how to enlist and enroll others in your vision. And so first we have to be connected to that. And then it's about enlisting others in that. And that translates to so many parts of your life, relationships, if you're doing sales, if you're trying to connect with investors or whoever it may be, right? There's like this art of enrollment, I call it, right, is what we use with the press. So that's, I was doing that for 20 years, not really realizing what I was doing. And then when it came time to turn around and say, okay, how do I teach what I do and get the results that I've gotten for so many years, how do I bottle that up and package it and help people get that? So a big part of it was because I was very deep on my own inner work, personal development, spiritual journey, worked in the healing arts. And I was using those universal spiritual principles in my PR agency business to get the results. And so now I always teach from that place, like first and foremost is the inner work. And then I can spit strategy and methodology at you all day long and steps, right? I know the steps, but it's just, when you think about creating whatever it is you're creating, your business, a program, your legacy, we want to build it from that lit up place that feels good. And so many people are trying to build it from a forced, like, oh, I know I should be doing this place. And guess what? Like, people feel that.
Well, and that's kind of my whole point that I like to speak about too, is if you don't feel it, you won't do it. And so it can't be so cookie cutter all the time, but yet there has to be guardrails. So just like you're talking about, you do have to do these things. You do have to get 9 articles. They have to be featured and so forth. But how you go about it might be a little bit different, or what the content's about a little bit different.
Exactly. And that's where, my wheelhouse and Genius Zone and the programs and platforms I've created is to specifically help people like in a customized way. So it's yes, there are things to do. There is a certain trajectory and templates and steps, but does it look the same for every single person? Not exactly. Everyone's on their own journey with it. Some people have different fears or strengths. Some people prefer to do more writing. As you know, some people prefer to do more speaking. Some people prefer to jump right into the media. I mean, those are truly the three main ways you're going to get your message out there. And I see Jamie's also saying, for a long time, my heart has been dragged down to my solar plexus to seek safety and simply survive. I booked an exciting job 2 days ago, and it feels like my heart is rising to connect with my throat to communicate out to the world. Very exciting.
That's so cool.
That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that, Jamie. Yeah, so really like feeling excited, lit up, passionate, hopeful, optimistic, which, hey, the world we're living in, that can be a little rough these days. So it truly is a conscious choice. Are you focusing on the glass half full or the glass half empty? I will say
it's remarkable to go back and look too. I mean, I see how much I've progressed. It's just wanting to get others up there faster, quicker, and so forth. And every time you rise a level, then it's like, okay, here's another one. Now I got to jump this next. Now that's not a hurdle, but it's another piece of the self-development puzzle, and you get stronger and better and find other people to connect with. So thanks, Heather.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a constant evolvement and stretching. Absolutely. Yeah. I will absolutely say, I'm the eternal optimist. I'm always looking for the silver lining. And, 2 weeks ago I was not feeling like I was in a great place. And then I just knew I had to stop, reset, reboot, get aware, get connected. And now I feel like, it's just, I'm, heading towards on top of the world again. Right. So in this world we live in, that self-care piece cannot be underestimated. And yeah, I so agree with that, Maya Lisa. Well, thank you. Thank you for your questions and for sharing today. We're probably going to start wrapping up now, unless anyone else has a question or something that they want to share or ask. And I'm looking over here. I see we've got Ethan. Hey, Ethan. We've got some more people. Josh. Oh my gosh, we've got so many people. Chris. Wow. Okay, great to see you all. Thanks for joining us today. I do have a gift. And I think, Tamarin's asking, can I do a share that your tips work? All right, Tamarin. Yeah, sure. Come on. Tell us how it works. Tamarin is someone who's been through my Shine Online Mastermind. So,
okay, forgive how I look. I'm doing yard work and I stopped to jump on your call. So I'm here. But I just wanted to share, I did the Visibility 30 when you first launched it. And the one thing that I was like, I'm doing is I got into Haro, and it was so overwhelming at first. I'm like, wow, but you had all the steps, you had all the videos. I followed through, kept doing it, and bam, I finally got that breakthrough. And it's so easy to do now. So it's part of a daily business thing that I do. And articles, TV features, it just opened so many doors. So Haro, I'm telling you guys, learn it, do it. It's going to give you the baby steps so that you get this earned media, and it gets easier every week. So I'm just saying, like, I didn't do that when I was in her program for a year. And I finally did it in the Visibility 30, and it made a huge difference in my PR media.
Yeah. And it's, like I said, the journey is different for everyone. So Tamarin, was one of those people that came in and there was a lot of that inner work that was focused on to get to this point. Some people, I've had some people continue with me for 2 years, and they're just moving through it at their own pace. They're getting to the various, possibilities and steps on different timelines. And that's okay. It's perfect for wherever anyone is at. So sometimes it's that inner work that's shifting first and foremost before you are ready to really put yourself out there. So Tamarin, you did a lot of foundational work with your business, your positioning, your marketing, your materials. Like, you got yourself so lined up. You did the inner work. And I'm so happy to hear that you're taking all of that and running with it now. And the Visibility 30 actually gave you so much value as well. So that's, again, we talked about that earlier, visibility30.com. where in there we teach you things like how to use platforms like what Tamara's talking about, which is Harrow. So I'm very excited that we were all able to touch in today. Lots of love to Tamarin, Maya Lisa, some sparkle fingers here for sharing and asking questions and putting it out there. And I think we have one more thing. Let's see. I'm going to give everyone who's here today, if you are resonating with what we've talked about, if you are like, oh my gosh, I want to connect with Heather because she feels like someone who could really help me. I probably can if you're having that feeling. I am gifting you a 20-minute PR action plan call. So go ahead and put that in the chat here. And, this is truly a 20-minute connection call. This is not a sales call. This is for me to see, what did you get from this? What are you thinking your vision is and your goals are based on kind of where you're at right now? And what are some of the challenges you're having of like, what do you need the, strategy on, or maybe it's even inner work, but looking at the inner, the outer work and how I might be able to help you. And if we feel like there's a fit to work together, then we can absolutely continue the conversation. But I really just want to give you all the chance to connect in with me and see how we can get you going in a bigger way on your own visibility journey. Okay, beautiful. So we have, let's see, looks like no more questions coming in here. So again, just quick recap, social verification. Yes, it's a great thing. Go for the notable piece of what they're looking for. That's going to be your fastest way of getting verified, or at least the most surefire way of knowing you're going to get the verification if you have those media articles, earned media, not paid media, right? And submit, get yourself verified. That's going to be, the most surefire way. Is it a guarantee? The real deal, the scoop here today is no, there are no guarantees with verification. They just have not built it that way. They want it to be exclusive and elusive. But can we do these amazing things that will set us on the path for that? Absolutely. And when you do these things, are you going to enhance your credibility? Yes. Your audience? Yes. You're going to grow. Whether it's revenue, impact, influence, income, all those things are going to happen when you do this. And then if you get the verification or say that Wikipedia page, big bonus, big cherry on top. So thank you all for being here today. So glad we had this time to touch in together. And go ahead, if you're feeling the urge to connect, click in on that link that we put in here. And I think Trisha's putting it in Facebook. We'll make sure it's over here on Instagram as well. And we'll talk. I opened just a few spots over the next few days. So if you are feeling that, I'd jump in and grab it now. And I look forward to connecting with you all again very soon. And hopefully we'll see you in our Facebook group. When you sign up for the visibility30.com challenge, you'll come into my free community and we'll get to see a lot of you over there. So, all right, my lovelies. Mwah, big kisses, little twinkle fingers. Thank you all over here on Instagram as well. All right. Have a beautiful day, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye.